Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub, Pub Sports Radio, Wednesday, April 5th. Ian Cameron, Dutch Boy Fresh, and Billy Briz ready to break down the Wednesday NBA slate. Countdown is on. 5 days left in the NBA regular season. Then we're into the play-in tournament next week. So we are right at the end of the regular season playoff positioning, seeding, who's going to be in the play-in tournament, who's going to play each other in the play-in tournament. All that shit still needing to be decided here in the remaining few days of the season. We got 8 games tonight in the NBA. Let's get into it. We'll start with New York and Indiana. The New York Knicks, 4.5-point road favorites here, 229 being the total in this game. Big move toward Indiana based on the personnel situation for the New York Knicks. Jalen Brunson out, Julius Randle also sitting tonight for the New York Knicks, and no guarantee either that R.J. Barrett ends up playing either. He's questionable with an illness for this game, so his status also uncertain for this matchup. So definitely a healthier Indiana team from the looks of things tonight for this one, other than Ty Halliburton, who remains out, and Miles Turner thought was going to play, but still questionable tonight with the back injury for him. Nembhard, Mathurin, Aaron Nesmith, Jordan Nwora, and Isaiah Jackson currently listed as the starting 5. This is not a game I'm going to do much with. I mean, I still don't really want to back Indiana a whole lot right now without Ty Halliburton, but obviously now with New York sitting all these guys, it doesn't seem like a spot that screams urgency or an interest maybe in winning for New York. So I think if anything, I would look at Emmanuel Quickley, my guy, as the starting point guard, and we know what a great prop bet he has been repeatedly here for the New York Knicks. 22 points in his last game. You look at some of the numbers, 25, 40, 24, 22 in 4 of the last 5 games. He's getting the minutes. He's getting the usage. And again, you're still able to cash in my opinion, with Emmanuel Quickley over his point prop. That's definitely what I'm going to bet in this game. I think it's the best bet in the whole game is Emmanuel Quickley over points tonight. What do you think here, Dutch? Knicks, Pacers. You're muted.
Oh shit, man! Good way, great way to motherfucking start the day. Huh? Hey, real quick though, salute to the ladies, gents, and D-gents for tuning in. You already know it's all love. Man, let's see here. This game, huh? Shout out to our guy Mike M doing his goddamn thing. Pimp Slap Player of the motherfucking day. I see you, my dude. Tone Miggins, level player of the day. Good to see all the hitters in the chat early. Let's run it up. This game. I'm gonna give you a little something. This game, man, yeah, like Bobano said about the Knicks, pretty much they don't really give a fuck. They're solidified. However, they are 35-16 ATS last 51 games on the road, so they've been bet the fuck on the road, and they're 4-1 ATS last 5 meetings versus the Indiana Pacers. So, I don't know, man. I can see why people maybe want to back Indiana here, but it might be the B squad for the Knicks, but it still might be better than Indiana. So, no action on this basketball game. But I do think the Knicks on the road probably still get the job done.
Yeah, that's the key with New York and again, motivation and where these teams are in the standings, you got to look at it. And right now the Knicks, they're not going to catch Cleveland. They're locked into the 5 seed in the East. They're probably going to play Cleveland in the first round. So there's really not a whole lot on the line here. But like I said, even with that being said, we've got these Quickley props have just been absolutely terrific. And again, with the amount of time he's going to get on the basketball court, it's definitely worth it, in my opinion, to look once again in that direction as far as his props go tonight. And again, Quickley to get over 25.5 points. They've made an adjustment. I still think it's a good bet. What do you think here, Billy?
Yeah, this isn't a game that I really like too much. I should have got the Pacers last night. I was looking at it, but I was like, man, I don't like betting on the Pacers, man. I mean, while they aren't completely out of the playoff picture, it feels like they're trying to catch Portland for the 26th position and try to improve their lottery standings. New York, on the other hand, they basically have their playoff seed secured, so not a lot of things have really moved them up or down. Bunch of rotational players probably playing for playoff minutes and stuff like that. They're 13-7 ATS in their last 20 games and 4-1 ATS in their last 5 games versus Indiana. Pacers are 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games. No Knicks props are really out yet on FanDuel, but I'm leaning towards Quickley over points. But overall, I'm probably just going to stay off of this game.
Yeah, another one to consider is Quentin Grimes. He's averaging over 20 points per game. He's going to obviously get more runway tonight. He's going to be the backcourt mate with Quickley tonight. He's over 16.5 points. I think he can get there. Like I said, he's averaging over 20. He's gone over his point prop Quentin Grimes, by the way, for the Knicks, I believe in 6 straight games. Yeah, 6 straight games over threes made as well in 6 straight games for Quentin Grimes as well for the Knicks. So there's another prop. Couple Knick props I'd bet. Other than that, I'd stay away from the side and the total. All right, we've got Brooklyn and Detroit. The Nets, 11-point road favorites, 218 being the total here in this game. When you look at the matchup here, the Nets obviously should be able to take care of business, but covering by this kind of number, it'll be interesting to see if they're able to. I would just, what I like in this game is, again, more prop than anything else. You keep riding this incredible wave that is Mikal Bridges. I mean, he's been lighting it up like crazy here for the Brooklyn Nets. We know this is a bottom-tier defensive basketball team here for the Detroit Pistons. So why not Mikal Bridges to light up this bad defensive basketball team once again here tonight? I could see that. So, Bridges to go over the point prop certainly is something I could see being worth a look here in this game. You look at the standings for Brooklyn. They are in the 6th spot. They can't catch the Knicks. But they do, do they want to avoid, Boston in the first round? If they fall to 7 and Miami, who's only 1 game behind them, passes Brooklyn falls to 7, plays Boston in the first round instead of Philadelphia. If I'm Brooklyn, I'd want to take my chance with Philadelphia. I'd rather take Philly than Boston. But at the same point in time, how much does that matter? I don't know. What I do know is that Brooklyn probably wins this game, but I'm not totally comfortable laying 11. I'll just look at Mikal Bridges to do what he's done, light it up. I like him over points here tonight in this one. Dutch, what do you think here? Brooklyn, Detroit.
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy, Razor Sharp Picks. The motherfucking building. Good to see you, my dude. Jay Peasy. You didn't know he's on the motherfucking intro. Good to see you, my man. Winning Circle. I see you, my dude. Yeah, man. I'll give you a little something for everyone, but we gotta give him a couple. Backwood, this motherfucker, goddamn it.
All right.
Yeah, last 5 days of the regular season, no season like this time of the year for Backwood season, that's for sure. What do you think here, Billy?
Yeah, this is another game I'm not really too fond of. Pistons own 5 ATS last 4 games following a double-digit loss at home. Even though the Nets have the 9th slowest pace in the league, they put up 123 or more points in 3 out of their last 6 games. Pistons' 3rd worst defensive rating in the NBA. The Overs 4-0 in their last 4 meetings and 5-1 the last 6 in Detroit. DFS is questionable for the Nets. Livers, Bagley, Magruder are all out for the Pistons. I'm just staying off of this game, man.
You know what's another one I'll bet here is Cam Johnson, Brooklyn, over rebounds and assists. That's a streaking prop right now as well. 4 straight games he's gone over rebounds and assists. At 6.5, he's averaging 9. So over 6.5 rebounds and assists for Cameron Johnson here for Brooklyn. I think that's probably a good prop as well. All right, let's move along. We've got Toronto and Boston. Look at the money on the Raptors here. Boston 5-point favorites down to 3 now, and 224 the total in this game. The Raptors, other than Gary Trent, who has, of course, been banged up for a while, and he's missed the last 7 games now for the Raptors. He's still questionable, but other than that, pretty healthy team. Same can't be said tonight for the Boston Celtics, who it looks like might be, remember, they played Toronto twice. They play them again later this week. It looks like, as of right now, Marcus Smart questionable with a neck injury. Jason Tatum questionable with a left hip injury for the Celtics. So keep an eye on both Tatum and Smart. That's probably a big reason why we've seen the money come in on the Raptors, the questionable status for both of those guys for the Celtics here tonight. As far as the Raptors are concerned, there's still a lot on the line for them because they are looking at play-in, I should say, positioning currently. They are in the 9 spot in the Eastern Conference, which means they'd have to play the 9-10 matchup. They want to get out of that, if at all possible. They want to get up into the 7-8 so that if you get up into the 7 and 8 in the East, you play in the play-in game where you just have to win once to get into the playoffs as the 7 seed. Whereas if you're in the 9-10 matchup where the Raptors are now, you're going to have to win, and you're going to have to win twice to get in to the NBA playoffs as the 8 seed. So, it's the better pathway is finishing 7-8 as opposed to 9-10. So there is something to strive for here for Toronto. As for Boston, they come into this game, when you look at the standings for them, it's a situation where they're pretty much, you look where they are. They aren't going to catch Milwaukee for first in the East, but they're still 2 clear of the Philadelphia 76ers for second in the East. So they're not in a, really big time. Wow, we really got to have these wins here down the stretch at the moment. So I understand with that and Toronto incentive and Boston maybe with questionable status for Smart and for Tatum. I get it why Toronto's taking the money. Do you want to bet him now, though, if you didn't bet him already, now that it's down to 3? I'm not so sure. What do you think here, Dutch? Raptors, Celtics?
Yeah, man. Shout out to my guy Mo Harris. I see you, my dude. Nasty Nate, man. You my man. But man, fuck you for that comment, man. Coming in here showboating on the cover with the Sixers or the goddamn Celtics. Man, I ain't gonna lie. I was furious last night when I didn't cover the 2. I pushed on 2. I had 2. So shout out to Billy for getting the money line there. But for me not to cover the 2 in Philadelphia last night was pretty fucking disgusting. And for you to cover that
was brutal. You deserved it. That was
bro. We
horrible.
told you, man, on the show, man, is money line season. You just got
money line those small favorites.
You
That's
had
why
one.
I do it.
You had one. I also told you it was raised by motherfucking wolves. God damn it. You know,
you think I bet the fucking Brooklyn Nets? We're obligated to talk about every game on the slate. If we would just talk about the games that we bet on yesterday, it would have been the 76ers, the Skylar Mays prop, and nothing else.
Well, I'm glad you didn't bet Brooklyn. I wish I would have money lined the motherfucking Sixers now that I look at it. I'm not going to lie to you, but that was some bull ass shit. I couldn't believe it. But shout out to Nasty Nate's motherfucking lucky ass. He had a leprechaun up his ass last night, full game, that's for sure. But yeah, man, this game, I want to bet Boston here. I really do. Everyone, what's tricky is Toronto goes back to, or Toronto is playing. They play again on Friday. You know, these two teams play again on Friday. I do believe you're going to get Jaylen Brown tonight. But the Raptors, man, they've been playing a little bit of basketball late. 1-5 out of last 6. They have covered 6 of the last 8 times in back-to-back situations as well. However, they are 1-5 ATS last 5 versus Boston. You look at Boston, on the other hand, against the number, they're solid as well in back-to-back situations. We know they're a deep, talented team. They're 7-3-1 ATS last 11 in back-to-back situations, and their bet on team at the crib, they win by an average of 10 points per game. So this seems like an awfully low number. I want to see who's in the lineup, who's suiting up for Boston, and then I might be on on the Leprechauns here. Shout out to Jimmy and the boys that got on the 4.5, got the number. If they kept with Toronto, I know a lot of people like that, expecting people not to play tonight for Boston. I don't like that it is they do play again on Friday, but I mean, it's a low number for the Leprechauns, man.
It is. I mean, this is cheap. We know Boston's better of these two teams, and all things that, like, if Tatum and Smart, one or both of them are in, this number is going to rocket ship right on up. So make sure you stay glued to the screen and the injury updates for Boston, because the moment if they play and they're ruled in, the thing's going to rise. There's no question.
Shout out to your boy Derek White, man. He's been balling the fuck out. He had a game last night.
That's what I'm eyeing is Derek White props. If Tatum and Smart are both, especially if Tatum's out, someone's got to pick up the bulk scoring for Boston tonight, and Derek White's your obvious candidate. So that's what I'm waiting on, is Derek White props to look at if Tatum doesn't suit up for the Celtics. What do you think here, Bill?
Another game I'm not really too fond of. I kind of side towards the Celtics here, bouncing back after that loss last night. I would say the Raptors are more motivated, though, to win this game, but the line and the money is in their favor tonight, hence why I kind of like Boston. I don't often back Toronto. I did last week, but that was more because Scott Foster was reffing the game than more of I like betting Toronto. I'm probably just going to avoid the spread here. If I did have to play something in this game, if I got a free bet, it actually might make my card. You got to look at a couple of things, but it's like a B play. Pascal Siakam over 21.5 points, -115. This prop feels a little bit low considering he's gone over 8 out of his last 9 games on the second half of back-to-backs for the Raptors, and he's gone over his point prop in both games versus the Celtics this year. So Pascal's in a good spot tonight, but it's just like, man, I just don't like betting anything Toronto on it, man. I'm with Dutch, man. Give me the Celtics.
All right, waiting to see if who's in, but leaning Celtics here. I like OG Anunoby over 15.5 points. This guy's been scoring lately. We know he's a great defender, but he's been adding the offense lately for the Toronto Raptors, and he's on a nice streak of 6 straight games over his point total. He's averaging over 20.8 points per game in the last 6 for the Raptors, and he's only over 15.5 with his point prop tonight. So OG Anunoby for Toronto is the one I like in terms of riding the hot hand there for the Raptors. All right, Washington, Atlanta. We've got Atlanta, 11.5 point home favorites, 233 being the total. in this one. The Atlanta Hawks are laying a pretty big number here. They've won 3 of their last 4 games. Washington, on the other hand, I'll tell you what, Washington sneaky covers here 3 of their last 4 games. They beat Boston. They lost by 7 to Orlando, lost by 9 to New York. They lost by 12, but covered a big number as 14.5 point underdogs against the Bucks in that game. Their lineup tonight, though, they've got a lot of injuries. That's the concern here for Washington tonight. DeLon Wright out, Kristaps Porzingis out, Monte Morris out, Kyle Kuzma out, Bradley Beal out, and my guy who's been the prop guy for me, well, Kispert too has been a prop player that I bet on a lot lately for Washington. He is playing, but the other one that we've been riding props on, Daniel Thea here for Washington, he's out once again for the Wizards as well in this game. So they are definitely a shorthanded group. Do you want to lay 11.5 here with the Atlanta Hawks? You got to ask yourself that. It's not exactly a proposition that I'm rushing to do. If you look at where Atlanta is right now, they are in the 8th spot. This is an important game for them. I expect motivation to be there for the Atlanta Hawks because just like with Toronto in the last game, you want to be in the 7-8 play-in, not the 9-10 play-in, because you only need to win once to get into the playoffs, not twice. So that's a big deal. The motivation, that should incentivize Atlanta. You know, Washington's been officially eliminated now from the play-in tournament. They're out, so you wonder where their heads are at. They're shorthanded. Clear backwood for me here, Vic.
All right. Yeah.
It just is, because I think it's Atlanta's game, Atlanta's spot. Atlanta's more motivated, but I ain't ever laying this many points with the Atlanta Hawks. I just don't. What do you think here, Dutch, Washington, Atlanta?
Yeah, man, we got some bold statements in the chat. Shout out to our guy Rance. Nuggets first round exit coming. He says, maybe, man. I don't know about that though. But yeah, I feel like that was pretty embarrassing last night against the Rockets. Our guy Picture Dave. Shout out to the leader of the Nerd Nation. Talking about Jason Tatum, the most overrated player. He might be joking. I mean, Draymond's still in the league, right? He still plays basketball, I believe. So, Trae Young still, that little motherfucker is still out there in Atlanta, right? Yeah. JT, all right. He's all right. But yeah, man, back with this motherfucker. But Mono had it.
All right. Yeah.
I shouldn't completely backwood this because that Corey Kispert over 17.5 points, I could see that here in this game. Who else is going to score for Washington in that starting 5 tonight with everybody that's out for them? So that could be a prop look possibly. Billy, what do you think here? Washington, Atlanta.
Yeah, man, we've been finding values on these games, man. Yesterday we were talking about Skylar Mays and Dutch and damn, why am I forgetting it's Durrell's name real quick? Dutch and it's Durrell, they were both fucking laughing at me about playing the G League player, man. I was like, hey, man, the kid can shoot some jumpers, man. And what did he do? He cashed that shit halfway through the first quarter, man.
It's an opportunity. He wants to show himself, the kid. Yeah, that's what they all want to do. Yeah.
And that's the same theory for tonight, man. There's opportunity on the board tonight, and there's opportunity on the slate. And I love Johnny Davis today. That's my favorite player prop on the board. Over 1.5 3-pointers. Yes, juicy at -180. And we're taking the over 15.5 points, -135. He's gone over his 3-point prop in 3 straight games, and the volume's been there 5, 5, and 10 attempts in his last 3 games. He's got the green light right now for the Wizards. The Hawks injury news report doesn't really have any props out there, so it's only Wizard props out there. So a lot of people are backwooding this. I like Johnny Davis. He scored double-digit points in 4 out of his last 5 games, coming off a career-high 20-point game last night. He's my favorite player prop on the slate.
All right, good stuff. And I saw 20 points in the game against Milwaukee for him. So, yeah, he's definitely – Johnny Davis has been getting the opportunity and making the most of it here for the Washington Wizards. All right, next game on this slate, Chicago, Milwaukee. We've got the Bucks. 7.5 point home favorites, 230, 1.5, 232 being the total here in this one. Milwaukee, of course, with the situation at hand for them, they've got pretty much first place in the East wrapped up. They are obviously coming off the game last night with Washington, 140 to 128, back-to-back for them and back-to-back for Chicago. A lot of teams on back-to-back because they loaded up the schedule with everybody yesterday because there were no games on Monday because of the national championship game. So a lot of teams on back-to-back nights here. Chicago's off the 123-105 home loss to the Atlanta Hawks. And if you look at Chicago, where they are right now in the standings, from the looks of things, we'll see what kind of effort we get from them. They are, they're going to make the play-in tournament. Nobody's going to catch them from behind, but they can only move up to ninth. And eighth is a possibility, but it's an outside possibility, especially because I think Atlanta holds the tiebreaker over Chicago. So, it's not like the Bulls can move out from the 9-10 play-in game. They know they're going to play that. Is there incentive? I don't know. Milwaukee's the better team for sure, but they're on a back-to-back and not crazy about laying 7 with the Bucks either. They play Memphis after this, a little bit of a bigger game on tap there. So I'm staying off the side in this game. I'd look at maybe something in the prop market, and if I was to bet a prop in this game, probably would look at maybe Zach LaVine in some form for the Chicago Bulls, maybe Javon Carter as well for the Milwaukee Bucks as far as assists go. I noticed he's been racking them up. He had 6 in the last time he started. He's back in the starting lineup, it looks like, tonight for the Milwaukee Bucks. So his assist prop for Javon Carter for Milwaukee might be appealing to me, plus LaVine, maybe points and assists for Chicago. What do you think here, Dutch? Chicago, Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah, man. That's a razor sharp picks. Yeah, man. Embiid the regular season, man. But I don't want to talk shit because you put your money where your mouth is, the 5K on the Sixers. But man, I just don't see it, homeboy. I do not see it. And one thing you will not see me with picks from Dave is Sunny motherfucking Delight. Get the fuck out of here, man. Shit. The Bulls, man. I like the points, man. Say what you will. I fuck with Fear the Deer, but not tonight, man. Not tonight. Chicago got blown the fuck out last night in Atlanta, where a lot of people like them 3.5. So there was some sharp saying, with no Trey, you might get a little bit better. Atlanta. Shout out to my man's in the chat who was saying that yesterday. He was spot on. Atlanta put it on Chicago. But it's a short trip, as we know, to Milwaukee from Chicago. These two teams have played 3 times, and Chicago's beat them 2 out of 3 times this year. I don't really know how much, Milwaukee's really wanting to play basketball. I know Giannis is playing. I don't believe no Grayson Allen, no Pat Connaughton. But the Bulls are 5-1-1 ATS last 7 on the road, covered 7 out of the last 10 basketball games, and have covered 10 out of the last 14 basketball games in Milwaukee. And they lose on the road by an average they lose out on the road as a dog by an average of 2 points per game. So I do believe the Bulls will be in this basketball game. The Bucks as well came a little bit back to reality at the crib. They're 2-5 ATS last 7 at the house. 1-6 ATS last 7 after a double-digit win. So maybe a little bit of cruise control here. I think Chicago's a little bit more hungry. They look like they're in that play-in spot, but they got to get a little bit of momentum if they feel like they want to do anything in this tournament. We know they got an awful lot of talent. We know they got guys like Patrick Beverley and Alex Caruso. Say what you will about them, but they're going to show up and play some defense. These guys will, I think, play 4 quarters. So give me the Bulls plus 7.5. It's good money.
All right, there we go. Bulls plus 7.5 here. Billy, what do you like here? Bulls, Bucks.
The Bucks are 10-3 ATS last 13 games, second half of back-to-backs, despite the Bulls being 1-5 ATS in their last 6 games on second half of back-to-backs. I feel like they had the spot circled for today. Very uninspiring performance last night, and that hasn't really been how they've been playing these last couple of weeks. The Bucks are a good home team, though, so that's kind of scaring me off, and they're 12-2-1 ATS this season when they're between 5 and 7 point favorites. So I'm off of the spread for this one. If I had to pick something in this game, my favorite play in this game would be DeMar DeRozan over 23.5 points. The story behind DeMar DeRozan back in 2021 when he was a free agent. The Bucks were trying to sign him, and he claimed that they lowballed him. So ever since then, he's been snapping against the Bucks. Since that offseason of 2021, he scored 42, 36, 40, 21 points, 29, and 35 points versus the Bucks. So DeMar DeRozan, good money tonight.
That is. Yeah, it's a good track record. He has definitely head-to-head against this Milwaukee team. All right, Memphis, New Orleans. We got the Pelicans, 6-point home favorites, 227.5 being the total for this one. You look at the situation for Memphis, second place, 2 behind Denver. Unlikely to track them down for first overall in the West, but unlikely to fall out of second. I don't think Sacramento is going to catch them, so it's kind of they're stuck in neutral, right? Stuck in second, hard to envision them going up or down. The Pelicans, meanwhile, I think there is something for them. They're like Toronto, they're like Atlanta, where they don't want to fall to 9-10. You want to avoid the 9-10 play-in game if you're the Pelicans. They're only a half game up on Minnesota for the 9 spot, so it's important. You want the 7-8 play-in game because you only have to win once. So there's something to strive for here for the Pelicans in this game. So I understand them taking money. I actually do like the Pelicans. I laid the 4.5 with them. Actually, I laid 5 is the number I got. It's gone up to 6. I think we see them come out strong. I just think the game matters just a little bit more to the Pelicans. And you don't have to twist my arm to fade Memphis on the road. Still have a 15-23 straight up record on the road this year, the Memphis Grizzlies. I think that could end up being their downfall in the playoffs. And if you look at their roster tonight, Adams out, and as far as the starting 5 for them, Xavier Tillman is going to be out potentially. Luke Kennard unlikely to play. John Morant unlikely to play. Tillman questionable with a right ankle injury. So the writing's on the wall. I like New Orleans here. I laid 5. I'd still lay 6 with them as well. What do you think here, Dutch, with Grizzlies Pelicans?
Yeah, man. Shout out to our guy, Moose Money Bets in the building. Good to see you, my man. And yeah, man, we got about 100, a little shy of under 150, and we have really, really light on them likes. Let's run it up real quick. We've been getting to the bag, man. We should have went 2-0. We went 1-1 yesterday, but our boy Billy Briz has been cleaning up. We know Babano's the machine. We're doing pretty well here on Post Sports and everyone throughout here that comes through. So show some motherfucking love. Run up the likes. And be sure to check out our guy Moose Money out there. It's baseball season, so it's his time to shine. Salute to you, my dude. Star Child, I see you, my man. Grizz, yeah, you touched on it, Bobano. 5, they're not that good on the road. If you bet against them on the road, you make an awful lot of money. They're 5-12 ATS last 17 on the road, 1-7 ATS last 7 in New Orleans. And on the other side, New Orleans been playing pretty solid basketball at the crib as well. They covered 4 out of the last 5 at the house, 7 out of the last 9 basketball games overall. And, the number does seem pretty sharp, though, to me. They win at home by an average of 5 points per game. So, maybe there's a reason that, Memphis is getting this many points here. I do think the Pelicans win this basketball game, but I think the number's pretty sharp. So, no play for me.
All right. Nothing for Dutch here. Billy, what do you think here, Memphis, New Orleans?
I actually like this game. The Grizzlies are 1-4 ATS in their last 5 games, 9-2 straight up in their last 11 now. But the Pelicans have been playing good basketball, 7-2 in their last 10 games. Last 9 games, and 6-1 last 7 when hosting Memphis. So, the Pelicans have more incentives to win this game right now. The Grizzlies are more than likely locked into the 2 seed. They're already not the best team to back on the road. So I like the Pelicans here. Some way, somehow, you got to get on the Pelicans here. If you're betting on it live, maybe after the first race to 20, or if you're betting the Pelicans on the money line and the parlays, I like the Pelicans here. I just don't know if I'm backing them at -7. I'm not really a big spread better, but I will be betting the Pelicans today.
All right, next up, we've got Sacramento and Dallas. Dallas 6.5-point favorites, 242 the total. Out of pure, unadulterated spite, I like Sacramento here plus the points. Dallas actually can still somehow get into the play-in because, unfortunately, there are teams in front of them that are sputtering right now, including Oklahoma City. And Minnesota hasn't been able to pull away. But it's Oklahoma City. That is the team that the Dallas Mavericks can still catch for 10th right now in the West, which is, of course, the final play-in spot. So Dallas can actually still somehow sneak in, but I'm not laying 6.5 with Dallas. And it looks like tonight here in this game, we've got, once again, the 2 usual suspects here, Kyrie and Luka, although Luka's playing, and we'll see if Kyrie is in. The fact that the line's gone up probably indicates he is, yes. Both of them are probable for the Dallas Mavericks here tonight in this game. So, they want Dallas in because if you got, Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving not being in the play-in tournament at the very least, I don't think the NBA would be thrilled about that. But do we really trust Dallas laying 6.5? I don't. So I've got a small play on Sacramento. The one thing that's concerning though about backing Sacramento is they're in 3rd in the West, and I don't think they can go up or down. So where is that huge incentive here to play is a concern, but it's Dallas playing well enough to lay 6.5. I'll take my chances. Maybe not. So For them, a small play here. For me, a small play here, 6.5 plus the points here on Sacramento. And as far as the prop market goes for this one here, Keegan Murray over his point prop. I like it. He's averaging close to 20. It's only 13.5. Great value for me. Keegan Murray over points for Sacramento. The guy that Mike Brown's been touting all year, should be first team All NBA with the rookie with the way he's played. What do you think here, Dutch? Sacramento, Dallas.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the Chicago kid. Yeah, you might be right. They probably do want Luka and Kyrie in the play, and get a little more action with these big names. Yeah. Hey, yo, D, you my guy, but Zachary's right, man. We ain't smashing no big body bitches over here, bro. No sirree. No sirree. But yeah, this game, I think just out of principle, you got to take Sacramento here. I think you got to, man. Disrespectful. It was disrespectful last night. A lot of games on the card. I actually overlooked it here on the show. If you fucked with us yesterday, the Pelicanos and the Kings game. Sacramento was getting 4 there. They win outright, obviously, against a team that's playing good basketball, as we just talked about. Now you're getting 6.5 here. Against a team, against Dallas, we talked about it plenty of times. You don't lay a touchdown against anybody in the NBA with the Dallas Mavericks. So Sacramento, I think they continued. You said, Bobano, do they have anything to play for? Really, no. But in my opinion, they have a coach, Mike Brown, who's obviously out for Coach of the Year and is kind of locked in, getting a lot of praise. I think he's going to continue that to bring the momentum into the playoffs. And it's a young, hungry team that's continued to get undervalued, as we see here today. Disrespected, 6.5, in my opinion. So they have won 5 out of the last 7 basketball games. They've covered, and they've been bet on the road, man. They've cut 35, 16-1 ATS last 52 on the road. 8-2 ATS last 10 in Dallas, and 19-7-1 ATS last 29 meetings versus the Dallas Mavericks. So they have consistently, done well against the spread against the Dallas Mavericks. And the Mavericks, man, they've been a fucking fade, bro. They've lost 7 out of the last 8 basketball games, 3 straight. They've covered 1 out of the last 5 basketball games at the crib. They're 3-12-2 last 17 against the number on 2 days rest. Give me the motherfucking Sacramento Kings. We Sacramento proud, as our boy, Mills would say, Long Beach finest, man. It's Kings, man. 6.5. It's good money.
Exactly. I'm not buying this narrative. Oh, Dallas, they want Dallas in, and the Dallas still lost the last 3 games, and now they're laying 6.5. And Sacramento,
they can win this game, and we still win, Bobano. My bad, but
And
so.
Dallas is a long-term bad favorite. How Ski has talked about it all season, and he would agree. Like laying 6 or more points all season with Dallas, you're burning your money. You're setting it on fire. So for that reason alone, it's Sacramento for me as well. What do you think here, Billy?
Damn, man, y'all ain't really helping me, man. I gotta roll with motherfucking the Mavericks tonight, man.
Oh boy.
I mean, Luka is in a prime spot. I mean, if Luka is in a player go home game, I want my money on Luka the Don. The Mavericks have not been playing good, but the Kings' defense is absolutely trash already on paper when they're actually trying. So I don't think that they're really going to be – there's really not a lot of motivation. They're already allowing 118 points per game, 5th highest in the league. Winner go-home game for Luka. Give me the Mavericks tonight. We'll figure out a way to get on the Mavericks some way, somehow. It's either the Luka over on points or the Mavericks money line because the Mavericks are going to end up winning this game against the Kings, man. It's just it reminds me of the Lakers game last night versus the Jazz. Me and Dutch were talking about, and Dutch was like, I don't know, you crazy for laying 8.5 at the Lakers. And I was like, I ain't laying 8.5 at the Lakers, but I think they win the game, man. I mean, yeah, it was a little bit sweaty. I was screaming at the television a little bit, but I think the W goes to the Mavericks here in this game. Spread-wise, have fun with it.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see if indeed the Dallas Mavericks can put their foot down and get the job done. But this has been a disastrous point spread roll for them all year, and I'm going to need to be convinced of it. All right, next and final game for this Wednesday card, Battle of LA, Lakers and Clippers. The Clippers 3.5 point home favorites, 232 being the total in this game. You look at where the standings set up. We've got the Clippers 6th, the Lakers 7th. And the Warriors only a half game ahead of both of them. So that's why people are clamoring right now at the possibility that it could be Kevin Durant versus LeBron James in the first round. If the Lakers somehow move up to the 5th seed, which they could, they're tied with the Clippers, and both them and the Clippers are half game behind Golden State, who have that 5th seed. So conspiracy theory in me tells me that if the Lakers get some extra calls, it wouldn't shock me here in this game. I certainly lean Lakers, plus 3.5. I mean, they've been playing some good. But the one concern is their status of a couple of their players tonight for this game. Keep an eye on it. LeBron questionable, game time decision, foot injury. Anthony Davis, game time decision, foot injury. D'Angelo Russell's also got a foot injury, but he will play for the LA Lakers. So Russell's in. Davis and LeBron, I should say, questionable for the Lakers tonight. But if they're in, I certainly like Lakers, 3.5, 4 points. I lean to the over as well. But as far as the Clippers go, you look at, for them, Paul George, of course, still out. But Eric Gordon is also a game time decision with a hip injury. I think when I see these instances, too, with Paul George out, a moment where they're playing the other LA team, we saw Kawhi Leonard explode for 40 points. Like, if the Clippers are going to win and cover, Kawhi scoring, 30 at least here tonight, in my opinion, especially without Paul George. So I like Austin Reeves on the LA Lakers side. We've been betting his props a lot lately. The points, rebounds, and assists with Austin Reeves has been so good. I'm going to go back to the well with that. And probably this is a good night to look at that over 26.5 points for Kawhi. Because, again, if the Lakers are going to win and cover or compete, he's going to have a big part of it. What do you think here, Dutch? Lakers, Clippers?
Let me take my ass off mute real quick. Yeah, man. This game I'm intriguing to watch here. They've lost the Clippers, 3-0 this year versus the Lakers. They beat them 3 motherfucking times. So you would expect the Lakers, to beat them here tonight. But this is a tricky spot because they played a lot of minutes last night, overtime game against Houston. So
the Clippers are rested. Yep.
Yeah, and the Clippers are well rested. So, and it's just at the same time, man. I just don't know if I really trust. Shout out to Star Child here talking about Westbrook. This is obviously the Westbrook game. A lot talked about there. I think maybe he might. I don't know. Will he have a big game tonight? I don't know. I'm not going to pay to find out, to be quite honest with you. I'm intrigued to watch this basketball game, but I have really no really want to bet this. The Lakers have been playing good basketball. I said it yesterday on the show. The hype is fucking ridiculous, and they don't give a fuck about that game. When you've seen Houston, they obviously covered the basketball game. Billy won, but Houston covered. So at the end of the day, I would have to look Clippers at the crib, but I could see why people like the Lakers here. It's a tough basketball game in my opinion, but I definitely, if I had to bet it, it would be the Clippers at the crib. I just don't know if they're going to beat them 4 times in a row.
All right, so a lean to the Clippers, but again, and plus, let's wait to see if LeBron and AD are going to be in for the Lakers. That's going to play a huge role in maybe which side to look at because they're both questionable. Yeah, the Westbrook revenge angle. Clearly, of course, former Laker. It did not go well for him there. Obviously, with the Lakers, it's at least gone better for him here with the Clippers. And you're right; they haven't played since January 24th, head to head. So, yeah, this would mark the first meeting then for Russell Westbrook with the Clippers, at least facing the Lakers. What do you think here, Billy?
I'll be quick with this one. I kind of got fucked on the line last night. I'm on the Clippers minus 186. I took it money line. I went to sleep at like 8 o'clock this morning. I thought that line was going to get away. I thought I was going to wake up to Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and D'Angelo Russell being ruled out, but I guess I got to wait for 7 o'clock for it. I'm on the Clippers here tonight. I've been the biggest Lakers fanboy since post All-Star break, but give me the Clippers here tonight. I think they're going to win this ball game. I'm on them straight money line.
All right, money line just to be safe for Billy Briz with the Clippers here in this one. All right, great stuff. Wednesday card in the books. Hit the like button, everybody in the chat. Shout out to everyone. And picks from Dave, JPZ, Mike M, Starchild, Andrew G, everyone else in the chat. Hit the like button. 180 live viewers. We appreciate it very much. We'll be back with best bets and Dutch's freshest look coming right up, right after we hear from Manscaped and Southtown 101. All right, Southtown 101. When you're in San Antonio, Texas, stop in. Great food, drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke. Southtown 101. Manscaped.com. Promo code PubSports. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com using the promo code PubSports. Yeah, the Russell Westbrook, if you want to take a shot, the double-double alone is only plus 175. That's not bad in a motivational spot for Russell Westbrook tonight. And if you really want to get bold, yeah, the triple-double is like 18-1, as Mike M says. So, again, if you want to put a couple bucks on it, buy into the fact he's just going to step up and
y'all tripping though, man. Betting Russell Westbrook, man. I mean, I know we got a lot of degenerate shit on the slate tonight, but I'm telling you, man, you must donate to the Red Cross.
Props before, yeah, and it hasn't worked out. So it's playing Russ
turnover prop.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, y'all talking about Russ like he's still playing in OKC, like Russ revenge game. Man, I don't care if it's a revenge game or not. That motherfucker sucks.
Yeah, that's right. Revenge or not, like that would be me playing basketball. If I'm going up against a guy that's played in college or in the pros and I want revenge, it's not going to matter. The guy's better than me. I'm not going to play well. So simple as that. If it's one-on-one pickup basketball. So maybe you're running into that issue tonight with Russell Westbrook in this one. All right, we got best bets to wrap it up for this edition. And, of course, Dutch's freshest look. Dutch, we'll start with you, freshest look.
Yeah, man, freshest look. I'm going to give you two, man, because we dogs today. We got two big dogs. I like them both an awful lot. I like the Sacramento Kings plus 6.5. And I like the motherfucking Chicago Bulls plus 7.5. That's right, 6.5 and 7.5. We got two hookers, and they're both good money.
There you go. Two dogs by the hooks. We got Sacramento plus 6.5 against Dallas, Chicago plus 7.5 against Milwaukee. Precious looks for Dutch on this Wednesday. Billy Briz, best bet.
Yeah, best bet tonight. We're going to go to the game that nobody wants to go to tonight, man. We're going to the ATL. We're hot, so we got to go to Hotlanta. We're playing the Johnny Davis over 1.5 3-pointers tonight, and we're going to play Johnny Davis 15-plus points and combine that into a nice little same-game parlay minus 102 and betting both of those straight. Johnny Davis for the boys tonight.
There you go. A couple of props for Billy Briz for best bet. And best bet for me for this Wednesday slate, we're going to go back to that Memphis-New Orleans game. 6 is the best number right now. I still like it at that number. Let's go New Orleans. Pelicans -6 against the Memphis Grizzlies. That's going to be a best bet for me for this Wednesday NBA card. And that'll wrap up this edition of the NBA Pub-Up. Thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. Reminder, we'll be back tomorrow. It'll be Dutch hosting along with Ski and Durrell on the Thursday edition of the NBA Pub-Up. So make sure you tune in for that. That's a wrap. Hit the like button on the way out for Dutch and for Billy Briz. I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Wednesday night. Enjoy the games and good luck. And we'll talk to you again tomorrow on Thursday for the NBA Pub-Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. Salute to them real ones holding us down in the chat. Andrew G, RP, Angel, A-Yo-D, Brian motherfucking Watson. Y'all be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.